Imagine this for a second. You're trying to manage, say, a dozen retail stores, maybe across 3 different states. Every single morning, you're firing off emails with crucial updates, or maybe you're still pinning notices on actual bulletin boards, just hoping the message gets through to your frontline teams. Then, predictably, by afternoon, your phone's blowing up. Staff are confused, they missed a key detail, maybe they got conflicting info, or they just flat out never saw the update. It's this constant communication chaos playing out day after day. Honestly, it sounds exhausting. And this isn't just some made-up story. That kind of scenario, well, for lots of retail leaders, it's their daily grind. It really highlights a big issue across the U.S. workforce right now. Employee engagement apparently hit a 10-year low, just 31% in 2025, and 17% are actively disengaged. Retail's got its own specific twists, too. Like, while 70% might say they're engaged, dig deeper, and only 59% of hourly folks are happy with flexibility. Even worse, only half feel confident about moving up in the company. Combine that with high turnover, seasonal staffing swings.
Well, the industry desperately needs better ways to connect and, frankly, keep its people.
Yeah, and that's precisely where these modern internet platforms are really stepping up. They're proving to be a bit of a game changer. We're not talking about just another piece of software here. These things are actually transforming that messy, inconsistent communication into something unified, engaging even. Think about every single person on your team on the floor, in the stockroom, managing a district, all connected, all getting the same info instantly, all feeling, motivated. These platforms are specifically built to close those gaps, the physical ones and the information ones, that have really held retail back for so long.
Okay, so that's exactly what we're diving into today. Our mission here is to really unpack what these modern internet solutions actually are, how they function day to day, why they feel so crucial for retail right now, and maybe what they could mean for your business, how they could turn those daily headaches into, well, a real advantage. So let's get into that. The scenario we started with, the Sarah scenario. It's not some rare exception, is it? It feels like a symptom of this fundamental communication breakdown. I mean, think about it. Your frontline associate needs their schedule update, like now, on their phone. The store manager is trying to coordinate with other locations, maybe miles apart. And the district leader needs a real-time pulse on how things are going everywhere.
Exactly. And in the old ways, those endless email threads everyone ignores, the bulletin board in the back room, the occasional team meeting that half the team misses because of shifts, they just don't work anymore. They don't match how retail teams actually operate today. There's this widening gap between what teams need to communicate effectively and the tools they've traditionally been given.
Right. This really lays bare those unique industry challenges. You've got multiple locations, constantly shifting schedules, usually pretty high turnover, and most employees barely see a desk, let alone have time to sit at one.
It's the perfect storm for communication breakdown and ultimately disengagement. And look, the job market is tight. What was it? Millions more job openings than seekers recently. Retailers simply cannot afford to lose good, engaged employees because the communication channels are broken or people feel disconnected.
Okay, so if the old tools are broken, what's the modern fix? Because I think when people hear intranet, they might picture those clunky, really dated internal websites from maybe 10, 15 years ago, static pages mostly. But today's solutions are worlds apart, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Worlds apart. That's the key thing to grasp. Today's employee intranet platforms aren't anything like those old, dusty document libraries. They're really comprehensive employee engagement platforms. Big difference. They're not just about passively sharing information. They actively build community. They foster collaboration. They streamline pretty much every part of the employee journey. And crucially, they're built mobile first. That's non-negotiable. They recognize that retail workers live on their phones. So the design has to prioritize clear visuals, information you can grasp quickly, and just super easy navigation on any device, phone, or tablet. It's about bringing everything the employee needs to them, wherever they happen to be, instead of making them hunt for it on some desktop they rarely use.
And I understand the best ones don't operate in a vacuum either. They plug right into the systems you already use, like point of sale, scheduling tools, inventory management.
Exactly. Seamless integration is key. The goal is to create one central hub for absolutely everything your team needs. It cuts down friction, eliminates those information silos where one department doesn't know what the other is doing, makes life simpler.
Okay, so it sounds much smoother, much more connected. But let's talk brass tacks. For you, listening right now, running your business, what's the real, tangible upside? Beyond just tidier comms, what are the measurable benefits that make this kind of thing worth investing in?
Well, the data is pretty compelling, actually, and it hits the bottom line directly. Organizations that really nail employee engagement consistently see, get this, a 20–25% boost in retail productivity.
Wow, 20–25%, that's significant.
It really is. And there's more. They also see 18% less turnover. Now, in retail, with its notoriously high churn rates, cutting turnover by almost a fifth. That means huge cost savings, more stability, experienced staff. Plus, these engaged teams drive 23% higher profitability and achieve 10% better customer ratings. And one more key stat. Employees who feel they have accessible ways to develop skills are 4.2 times more likely to stay engaged over the long haul.
Those numbers are, well, they're not just nice to haves, are they? They speak directly to competitive advantage. So the obvious next question is how? How do these platforms actually deliver that kind of transformation? How do they turn into better productivity, retention, profit?
Right. It's not magic. It boils down to a set of core, very thoughtfully designed features. Each one tackles a specific challenge that typically hinders engagement in retail. So first, the foundation. The centralized communication hub. This isn't just a place to dump files. It's about ensuring everyone has access to the same information at the same time. It breaks down those hierarchies and silos that have always been a problem. Imagine every single associate, part-time, full-time manager, everyone, working from the identical, always updated playbook. That consistency builds enormous trust. It fundamentally changes how decisions get made right there on the sales floor. For our Sarah manager, it means no more panicked calls about which policy is the current one. One source of truth, available 204/7.
Okay, so everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
Literally. What builds on that?
Well, the gateway to that hub is mobile-first design and accessibility. Like we touched on, retail staff use their phones. If the platform isn't brilliant on mobile, forget it, it won't get used. So this focus means info is clear, navigation is dead simple, everything just works reliably on any device. It meets employees right where they are. It even helps extend that sense of company culture and connection beyond just work hours, making sure nobody feels left out no matter their shift.
Makes sense. What about keeping people motivated?
Yes. Employee recognition and rewards programs. This is huge and often overlooked. We know highly engaged companies get those better customer ratings, about 10% higher, and 18% higher sales. Why? Partly because people feel appreciated. Modern platforms make recognition easy, immediate, and crucially visible. A manager can give a digital shout-out for amazing customer service that everyone sees. Colleagues can give digital high fives for hitting a target. Leaders can share appreciation across every single store at once. It turns recognition from a private thank you into a shared public celebration. Inspiring stuff.
I can see how that would boost morale. What else is core?
Next up is training and development resources. Success in retail depends so much on continuous learning, product knowledge, service skills, new procedures. These intranet platforms essentially become dynamic learning hubs. Training becomes accessible anytime, anywhere. It's trackable, so you know who's completed what. And it's often more engaging. Think short video modules, quick quizzes, maybe discussion forums around a training topic. This makes onboarding new hires consistent across all your locations. And product training. It can reach every associate simultaneously, much more effective.
So it helps build skills and confidence across the board.
Exactly. And finally, there's company news and updates. Modern platforms really flatten the traditional top-down communication structure. Company leaders can share important updates directly with everyone at the same time. No more telephone game where the message gets distorted. Everyone's working with the most current, accurate information. But it's not just one way. These platforms are great at combining official announcements with stuff generated by employees celebrating a store's success story, sharing positive customer feedback. It builds a really powerful sense of shared purpose and collective pride.
Okay, that's a really compelling set of features. It paints a picture of a much more connected, informed, and maybe even happier workforce. But let's be real. Implementing something like this, it sounds great on paper, but what are the actual hurdles? It can't be just flip a switch and go, can it?
Oh, absolutely not. You're right to be cautious. It definitely requires a strategic, phased approach. Rushing it is a recipe for failure. Really starts with phase one, assessment and planning. You have to do the groundwork. Talk to your employees, really talk to them. Across different roles, different locations. Understand their current communication frustrations, what works, what doesn't, and map out all the tools you're currently using. Email, chat apps, scheduling software, maybe even WhatsApp groups. You might be shocked at how many overlapping, sometimes conflicting systems are actually in play. This helps you spot the real gaps and figure out your priorities.
Okay, so understand the current mess first. Then what?
Then comes phase two, platform selection and customization. This is critical. Don't just pick the flashiest platform. Choose one that's genuinely built for retail's specific needs. Look hard at its mobile capabilities. Are they truly native and seamless? How well does it integrate with your existing tech stack, like POS and scheduling? Does it handle multi-location management easily? Are there templates or features specifically for retail workflows? You know, platforms like HR Cloud's Workmates, for example, are designed with exactly these retail-specific requirements front and center.
Right, choosing the right tool for the job. Makes sense. What's phase 3?
Phase 3 is all about content strategy and information architecture. This is where many implementations stumble. It's not enough to just dump all your old documents onto the new platform. The content needs to be immediately useful to employees. It needs to be kept fresh and up to date. And, maybe most importantly, it has to be easy to find. Think about organizing information around how employees actually work, finding schedules, checking policies, looking at procedures, not just mirroring your company org chart. You also need clear rules about who posts what and keeps it current.
So make it relevant and easy to navigate from day one.
Got it.
And the final phase.
The final piece, and it's absolutely essential, is phase 4. Training and change management. Look, retail employees, especially frontline staff, can be skeptical about new tech. They've seen initiatives come and go. The key here is demonstrating value quickly and clearly. Show them exactly how this new platform makes their job easier, how it answers their questions faster, how it connects them better with colleagues. Use short, punchy demo videos, create simple, quick reference guides, and identify champions within stores, enthusiastic peers who can offer informal help and build buzz.
So focus on the what's in it for me for the employees themselves. Okay, that makes sense. So let's say you've gone through all that, you've rolled it out. How do you actually know if it's working? How do you measure success and, justify the ongoing investment to the higher ups?
Great question. You need to track specific key performance indicators, or KPIs. It starts with the basics: adoption and usage metrics. Are people logging in? How often? How long are they spending on the platform? Which pieces of content are getting viewed the most? But you need to go a bit deeper than just raw numbers. Are usage patterns consistent across different stores or regions? Are specific features being utilized as intended? This tells you if people are actually finding ongoing value.
Okay, so tracking if they're using it. What else?
You absolutely need employee feedback and satisfaction scores. Regular, maybe anonymous pulse surveys are invaluable. Ask people directly. Is this helpful? What's frustrating? What features are missing? What could be better? This qualitative feedback gives you insights that pure usage data can't. It helps you spot adoption barriers, understand why certain features aren't being used, and ensure the platform keeps evolving to meet your team's real needs.
Right, combining the what with the why. Now, here's a part I find really interesting, the business impact analysis. This is where you connect all that usage and feedback data directly to tangible business results, isn't it?
Exactly. This is where the rubber meets the road. You start tracking things like customer satisfaction scores. Do they improve after implementation? You monitor employee retention rates. Does turnover decrease, especially in key roles? You look at operational efficiency metrics. Are processes getting smoother? Are errors reducing? Let's take that turnover example again. If your annual turnover is, say, 75%, and replacing each employee costs you $3,000, which is pretty typical, even achieving that 18% reduction we talked about, the kind engaged organizations often see. That translates into massive cost savings very quickly. Plus, remember those other stats: 10% higher customer ratings, 18% higher sales for highly engaged teams. Those directly boost your revenue stream.
And what about the cost side? What's the typical investment look like?
Well, based on available info, the ongoing cost for these platforms typically runs somewhere between $3 and $15 per employee per month. The initial setup investment can vary quite a bit, naturally. For smaller or mid-sized businesses, maybe $10,000 to $50,000. For large chains with complex needs, it could be over $100,000. But here's the really crucial insight. Most retailers find they recover these costs within about 12 to 18 months. That payback comes from the reduced turnover, the gains in productivity we discussed, and the impact of higher customer satisfaction. So it's a remarkably fast ROI, typically.
12 to 18 months ROI.
Yeah.
That's pretty compelling. Okay, so let's say you've got the platform running, people are using it, you're seeing some benefits. What's next? How do you take it from being a good communication tool to something truly transformative and maybe future-proof?
Yeah, there are definitely ways to level up. One key area is deep integration with retail management systems.
Yeah.
We touched on this, but really doubling down here pays dividends. Imagine single sign-on, where employees access scheduling, payroll, POS data, inventory info, all through the intranet interface. When a promotion changes, that info flows instantly. When stock levels are low, alerts appear. It creates truly unified workflows, cutting down on so much wasted time switching between systems.
Okay, deeper integration. What else?
Second, really leaning into AI and automation. This is where things get exciting. Think about AI suggesting relevant articles or training modules to employees based on their role or recent activity, no more searching needed. Or automated translation features for diverse workforces. Chatbots that can instantly answer common HR or policy questions, freeing up managers' time. Even predictive analytics that might flag potential engagement dips or retention risks before they become serious problems.
AI handling the routine stuff and even spotting issues early. Interesting.
And third, and this is crucial for any growing business, is focusing on scalability and growth planning from the outset. The platform you choose must be able to grow with you. Can it handle a doubling or tripling of users smoothly? Can you easily add new locations or brands without a major technical overhaul? Can it accommodate new features and integrations as your business strategy evolves? You need a platform that's a flexible foundation, not something you'll outgrow in 2 years.
So planning for the future is baked in. Makes sense. But, beyond all the efficiency gains and the data points, there's a huge cultural piece to this, isn't there? Especially in retail, where teams are often spread thin across many locations. It's about more than just smooth operations.
Oh, absolutely. Fundamentally, these platforms are powerful tools for building and strengthening company culture. They create virtual communities that bridge those physical distances. Think about discussion forums where staff from different stores can share tips, solve problems together, or just connect on shared interests. Social features, used appropriately, can help build real relationships between colleagues who might otherwise just be names on an org chart. You can create spaces that blend professional development with more personal connection.
So it helps people feel less isolated, more part of a whole.
Precisely. And that ties into celebrating success and achievements. We talked about recognition, but making successes visible across the entire company is incredibly powerful for culture. When one store shares a success story, or an employee milestone is celebrated publicly, or positive customer feedback gets highlighted, it becomes a shared experience. Features like peer-to-peer recognition really amplify this. It inspires everyone and reinforces positive behaviors. It also naturally encourages cross-location collaboration. Best practices don't stay locked in one store, they spread organically. Innovations developed in one place can be quickly shared and adopted elsewhere.
And I suppose having a platform that clearly adds value helps overcome some of those initial challenges, like technology adoption resistance.
Exactly. When employees quickly see how it makes their day easier, provides information they need, and connects them better, resistance tends to fade. And for the multi-generational workforce that's so common in retail, digital natives working alongside people less comfortable with tech, the key is thoughtful design. Intuitive interfaces plus training options that cater to different learning styles help ensure everyone feels comfortable and capable using the platform.
Okay, let's try and bring this to life even more. Can we look at a few quick examples? How might this play out differently in, say, fashion versus grocery?
Sure, good idea. In fashion retail, for instance, the visual aspect is key. Intranets there are often used for sharing digital style guides, maybe mood boards for upcoming seasons, examples of successful outfit combinations from different stores. Quick access to current trend information is vital for sales associates. It's very visual, very brand-focused.
Right, makes sense for fashion. What about, say, grocery and food service?
There, the absolute priority is often speed and accuracy for critical information. Think food safety alerts, instructions for inventory rotation, immediate updates on promotional changes, ensuring compliance with regulations. If a price changes or a recall happens, that information needs to hit every single store simultaneously and accurately. Real-time updates via the internet are essential to avoid costly errors and maintain customer trust.
Okay, speed and compliance are key there. One more, maybe electronics and technology retail.
Yeah, that's another interesting one. There, the challenge is often the sheer complexity and rapid change of products. So the intranet becomes a vital knowledge base. Comprehensive product specs, detailed technical training modules, maybe even peer-to-peer forums where staff can troubleshoot tricky customer issues together. Keeping associates knowledgeable and confident with constantly evolving gadgets and software is paramount. The intranet is the backbone for that.
Those examples really help illustrate how versatile these platforms can be, tailored to different needs.
So wrapping things up, we've really taken a deep dive today, haven't we? We've gone from looking at that crisis of disengagement in retail right through to the a pretty incredible potential of having teams that are genuinely connected, fully informed, and motivated. We've seen how these modern intranets can reshape communication, boost productivity, cut down on that costly turnover, and ultimately really impact the bottom line.
It really leaves you with a powerful question to consider, doesn't it? In today's world, where that sense of connection is almost like currency and the employee experience is absolutely paramount,
Yeah.
how might your business change if your retail workforce was truly empowered and deeply connected? How could transforming what seems like just a communication challenge actually become your single greatest competitive advantage, reshaping both customer experience and brand loyalty?
Definitely something to mull over as you think about the future of work, connection, and success in your own organization.